M. Fletcher Brown with another artist video blog, Kicks96country.com. Our guest today, fresh off of TV. Well, not fresh off of TV. I mean, it was season 6.
Yeah.
All right. So that was like, what, 2020?
14.
Oh my gosh.
It's been a minute.
How old am I? Season 6 of The Voice. How many seasons are there of this show?
They have like 2 a year, I think.
I'm thinking like they're in like season 30 something now. From season 6 of The Voice, he's got brand new music all the way from Nashville, Tennessee, by way of a couple other great states in the United States. Please welcome our guest today for the very first time at Kicks 96, Ryan Whyte Maloney. How are you, Ryan?
I'm good. How are you?
All right. So, you were real quick. We're gonna cover the big stuff. We're gonna go ahead. So, you know the face. You see if you watch The Voice, like most everybody does, because it's like one of the biggest shows on TV. You might remember Ryan from season 6, 2014. Top 5. All right. Team Blake.
Yeah.
All right. And you were just like smoking, man. You were kicking it all over the place. All right. And you've continued in the intervening years to continue songwriting. Now, the thing about Ryan, the thing that jumped out at me wasn't just that, you know, you're a singer and a songwriter. All right. Everybody that comes through here is a singer and a songwriter, typically, right? I mean, you expect that. You're also like an audio engineer and a producer.
Yep.
So you kind of do it all.
Yeah, absolutely.
So do you, when it comes to your music, the Ryan Whyte Maloney's music, you write all your songs and produce and engineer all your songs yourself?
I write, co-write, play every instrument, mix it, master it, the whole game.
So you're just, you don't need to have a team, but you just do it all.
Yeah, one-stop shop.
So let me ask you a
I
question.
am the Willy Wonka factor.
Well, see, I don't think I've ever talked to an artist that was skilled and capable of doing all of those things, of being their own producer and audio engineer and all that. So given your clear history and level of skill with that, and working in music, do you ever think, maybe I'm not the person for this song, maybe I want to find somebody else and get them to produce this song or engineer the audio for this song? Or are you just like, you know what, only I know how I sound the best?
Up till now, I've worked in many studios with different people, and I always felt like I wasn't proud of my music because I didn't have a say. I was always a producer, but up until I made my own studio the past 7 years, I felt like I never had control to really say what I wanted to say and control the environment and the quality of the production. So it wasn't a 100% representation of who I was. It was kind of watered down a little bit. And with this album and the music I've been putting out, lately, now I've fully grown into the producer. During quarantine, I did 900 songs, country songs, custom country songs.
Wow.
Through my website, cranked them out, and that's what really, really built me to the caliber of being seasoned enough to have the full confidence and go forth with this new record and grow into the producer that I am. I feel like I went through the fire and rose out like a phoenix, and here I am now. I'm very open to working with other producers and stuff like that, but for now I got it all under control as far as I know. It's you know who I think I am.
Well, I mean, do you ever feel like the producer side of you gets in the way of the artist side of you?
No, because when I write a song, I pretty much have it all produced in my head. It's kind of like how a sculptor looks at a rock and goes, okay, I already see the Michelangelo inside of that stone, and you just got to carve it out until it gets to where you just say, okay, I'm finished fiddling with it.
Okay, all right. Well, I don't know. I think it's very interesting. When you've got someone who has a mind for the art of it, you're the artist and you're writing the songs and you're singing the songs and you're putting the feeling in that you want in. But producers have to think so far beyond, just outside of those parameters.
The producer is like the driver that already knows what the end destination is. It's just you just got to keep driving to get to it. But I've always been a producer since I was a kid.
All right. Well, let's talk. Let's go ahead and turn back the clock and
Okay.
talk about Ryan Whyte Maloney and your early stage. Now, you're originally from Traverse City, Michigan,
Yeah.
right? See, I know Traverse City because I'm originally from Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Oh, okay.
You know, so yeah, so we're
Nice.
both like, you know, similar stomping grounds. But somehow you managed to leave Traverse City and ended up you currently live in Las Vegas,
Yep.
right? So talk to us first about your early roots growing up in Traverse City.
So growing up in Traverse City, I was just a trailer park kid that, I never thought I would make it out of the trailer park, and I became a garbage man because my dad was a garbage man. And how the country music came into play was we listened to lots of different things growing up, but one day my dad had a box of records and it was like a family ordeal. He throws it in the garbage. He's like, "We're listening to country." Like that, he just made like a decision for everybody. We're listening to country. And I'm like, okay, what do you do? So
Dad said we're listening to country. See, my dad, it was jazz. So I get it.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
So my mom was in a band growing up, and everybody had instruments in front of us. Her band would practice, and I would learn all the instruments by ear. And one day, my mom was out having a smoke, and I picked up the guitar sneakily. I'm like 8 years old, and I started playing "Beat It" on the guitar.
As
And
one would.
And she yells at me and goes, "What are you doing? What were you just doing?" I was like, "Nothing." She's like, "No, no, no. What were you doing?" Picked it up and started playing. Next day, she bought me an acoustic guitar, and I've never stopped since then.
Absolutely. Thanks, Mom.
Yeah.
Good job. So obviously you made your way out to Las Vegas. What pulled you to Las Vegas?
So I was in a band. I've always been in a band since I was, like 10. And finally, I got forced into being in Vegas because my bassist moved out there, and it was during the whole time of the MySpace era. Music, independent music, was really, really on fire with a whole bunch of different labels and bands. I feel like rock was really prevailing in the mid 2000s
Mm-hmm.
before the whole housing bubble, and then all the record companies consolidated and it went away and it became like this factory,
Mm-hmm.
And right before that happened, I moved to Vegas because my bassist lived out there, and it's not somewhere I wanted to go, but I believe it was part of my destiny now to
Yeah.
kind of go somewhere that was uncomfortable for me, to mold me into the person, the artist that I became to be. I always spent my whole life wanting to leave the country, and I never knew how country I grew up till you live in a city and you go back to your home roots and go, holy crap, I'm totally a hillbilly.
Yeah, that is
So-
true. Yes.
So, I embrace that. I try to, keep home with me, and that's why, I sing the music that I do, to never let myself and my roots be forgotten of where I really strive to be and who I am and what molded me.
What was the thing that made you say I'm going to be on The Voice?
So I get compared to Rascal Flatts a lot.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
People always say, you sound like Gary, and I'm like, okay.
All right.
I
Well,
like
all
him,
right. I wish somebody would compare me to somebody cool. But all right.
So I I wanted to be validated somehow by my peers, and I made it a goal. One day I woke up and said, I'm gonna sing Rascal Flatts on The Voice, and I called my mom up with certainty, 100% insane certainty, and she's like, "Baby, don't build your hopes up. I don't want you to get hurt." And I'm like, "No, I'm gonna be on Team Blake, like 100%, and I'm gonna sing Rascal Flatts." Well, I did it.
And you ended up being top 5 on The Voice.
Yeah, yeah.
History, the rest is history, as they say.
I think if nothing's impossible.
No.
Only those who see the invisible can accomplish the impossible.
Oh, that's beautiful. I love it. All right, well, let's talk about your music right now. Let's talk about, we've got the album that's right here. Okay, I don't know if you can see that, but it says I'm Gonna Live. All right, and this is Ryan Whyte Maloney's current album. Now, the single off of that is Don't Put Me in a Box.
Mm-hmm.
That has nothing to do with being claustrophobic, as I understand it. No, I'm just kidding. I've heard the song. It's beautiful. But the song is really just kind of about just being true to yourself, right?
Yeah, I think it's it represents me as an artist. Don't judge a book by its cover. I'm kind of one of those iceberg artists where you see the top and you're like, okay, I know about him. Well, you don't, because an iceberg, above the water is this big.
Yeah.
And below the water, it's huge. So that's kind of what "Don't Put Me in a Box" is talking about. Is I can be country, I can be hip hop, I can be R&B. Don't put me in a box.
Mm-hmm. So that does that tell me then that if I listen to the entire album, if I listen to "I'm Gonna Live," I'm gonna hear a lot of those same elements that you're talking about?
Probably not so much R&B and hip hop.
Yeah.
But with all of those things combined, it's kind of like a variety pack of Kellogg's. You know?
Okay, I got you. All right. So if you want something that sounds that the entire country has already agreed sounds amazing, coming off of season 6 of The Voice, you want to pick up a copy of Ryan Whyte Maloney's album right now. "I'm Gonna Live." It's got the single on it. "Don't Put Me in a Box." And if you want to hear it, make sure you call us at Kicks I6 because we'll happily play it for you. Ryan, if anybody out there is listening and has decided that they have to know as much as they possibly can about you, where do they go and look for you on the internet?
Google Ryan Whyte Maloney.
Yeah.
Go to hitsingle.net. I just had a new music video come out last week for "Love with Nowhere to Go," which is on there too.
Mm-hmm.
And I got a new summer single coming out too. And it's keeping on trucking.
Absolutely. Ryan Whyte Maloney is our guest. Look for him on all the places that you find awesome on the internet. And we're going to see if we can't get him to play a song for us live here in the studio. But until then, I'm going to tell you goodbye. Ryan Whyte, thank you for being here.
Thank you so much.
And we'll see you next time on another artist video blog right here at Kicks96country.com.
Put me in a box, don't put me in a box. I don't need chains, I don't need locks. Until the day I die, don't you even try. Don't put me